Alright, so I managed to almost crash using some world hack method to get the mic to work. So, PC version has enabled no problem. Go ahead and talk to this. This is just horrid. And basically, it's the NVIDIA cache. I don't know if this is for AMD or Intel cards or onboard unknown graphics cards. But basically, if I make the shader name unique on not the shader name, the shader code, it doesn't happen. So if I were to ship this like this, I don't think so people would be called when this is like this is now. The other problems are if it's widescreen, which it is on the cell phone, you could rotate it, and I believe it crashes when you widescreen it automatically still. I think I thought I fixed the problem, but yeah, so there's always little problems, and I want to make a map editor and add sound. So we're like back to the basics here of just building the engine out. And we can go through all those. Yeah, so, but we have sort of a deployment is very bad. It like see accelerate. That's what I Okay, so yeah, that's the issue. I don't know what to tell you, except for the sound just, and the camera's been horrible. I think I need to reboot that router too. But these earphones don't help. Just be like static inside the USB. Oh, whatever. Okay, so I know how to fix that. And then I have another version here going at the same time that I'm fixing. And this is like, right, I'm trying to give myself like headache to the power of 2. Why? Because this is actually a headache to the power of 10. Because of the amount of things I need to achieve fast. Like, just releasing it. It just requires a lot of things to work. I wanted to just code the multiplayer today. Yeah, so let's just boot up Putty. Why can't we do Putty? Oh, because it's a different place. I actually have Putty organized. This is one of my more organized computers. Okay. Now what we must do turn on the other monitor. I don't think this works. It says that, but it doesn't mean it works. It's like doesn't display anything. Yeah. Garbage. But this is a really nice way to play with OpenGL ES2 for performance on one core, and then try to port it to the other Android, to the Android 19 or Android 2nd generation. A lot of those devices just do whatever you want. You just draw whatever you want. Like all the hacks work on them. So they're great for recycling. So that's why I want to get really good at them. But I should just go to eBay and just start buying them up like I did with Raspberry Pis. Because they're like the same thing, but they're better. They're the same thing as Raspberry Pi. Yeah. Alright, so let's just mess around. It helps. Alright, what that does is just render fonts. This is the cool little ball example. If you glide too many times with the ball, you die or something, but it's kind of random. You get the idea. You mix this with SAT algorithm. Yeah, I was able to. How do I jump this? I don't know why I can go through that wall now, but I can. But the ball can't. Damn it. The way the AI wrote this is really weird. Okay, I'm annoyed by it. Let's see, we have to fix this. Or at least quick fix it. Like, what is this drop quick loot? I was thinking something deranged when I wrote this. Oh. It's like tell user he will get loot upon return, or do a pop-up something just dropped. Yeah, it does two things like that. It like encourages you to stay, essentially. It's like some new Zingalish type feature I just brewed up in my head. I don't know if it should be a static void. It should be a static void, technically. I don't think a static void is allowed to call a void. Doesn't make any sense if you logically think about it. See if the mic crashed. Oh, it didn't. I don't know why. Alright, so if we get rid of that, we'll still have to deal with this other garbage. Oh, I fixed the other text field class, I believe. Or almost fixed it. It'll take forever. Fix all this. Okay, the goal is just to fix this first. The Android's got like problems. It needs new buttons, and the way it works is really bad. Like, you saw that I couldn't jump right and move right. Yeah, so the movement's just like garbage. I don't know, I'm a bad coder. I couldn't make movement work right. But my system is using a forwarding input system, so that might have a lot to do with it. There was this one dude who was working in design class on an input system. That was his class project. He picked. He basically just zombie tortured himself and stayed up, and he couldn't figure it out, like what he was trying to do. But he knew what he was trying to do, which is really cool. Like, he just went the super hacker route. Like, all right, I'm just gonna get to the bare metal of input. And I understood that because I've tried to do it before, and it's like hard. So maybe I just need to watch like more than like 1,000 hours of just videos about input and spend 1,000 hours just coding it for no reason. And then I'll have it down to where I can do all that coyote buffer jumping stuff. I already have it like kind of working if I really wanted to just hack it real quick, but that's not the point. The point is to get it to work synchronously cross-platform hack platform, so we can work through Raspberry Pi, PC, and Android without Steam or Android, Google Play. Yeah, it's like stupid Google Play, stupid Steam. The reason it's stupid is because they want you to like subordinate to their libraries, and you kind of do, because I have the code for the controller already. Let's see here. Ah, it's shut down Android Studio. Oh my god. The stupid sound, it caused just mayhem. Hell. Yeah, I have it. I was just like outside just testing it out on the cell phone playing this. I don't have the gamepad ready. No, it's like a lot of stuff going on really with this product, which is good. It's like it's a good healthy sign I'm getting somewhere, but it's really like healthy on my brain when I show up from work and I'm just like, oh, this is overwhelming and exhausted. It's like, I don't want to do this. It's good or bad. Who cares? I'm sure people have figured it out. Like, those thoughts just kill you. Alright, so there's just anonymously stupid errors. Yeah, so in static member function, static this cannot call member function. That's exactly what I was talking about without an object. Exactly. So we have to make these static, and we don't have to tell it that it's static, but we do need to know ourselves. Like, it knows they're static. I don't. That's what I hate about static objects. Like, they're just annoying. They are cool, but whatever. So that's just initial housekeeping. So the button struct needs a delegate function. That's what you call them in C#, or in C we call this pointer to function. In C++ we call this something I never knew about, or class inheritance or something. Well, you could call it pointer to function in C++ also. Why? Because it just makes it very dynamic, but kind of unsafe. Like this is an address to go and just jump there. And make sure you do it right, because if it's wrong, then whatever meaning, put in the wrong address in that, and then whatever's in there is just going to get called. And then just go read up how assembly language works, what happens next. You'll probably get a sig fault sooner than later. Let's see. Let's play with the Android version here. I really wanted to get multiplayer to work, but like sound. Yeah, it just crashed. It's just like, how can it be so simple and unstable? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't seem that it crashed. Like, I need a variable that just says this started running at this time, so we know if it crashed or not. Yeah, so this is what it does. And I don't think he's jumping. Oh, he is jumping, because it does forward the spacebar to him from the computer. Because I'm trying to use the PC hotkeys, but it doesn't forward the other keys, but the spacebar does. Or something like that. Like, what's happening here? It's like infinite jumpiness. Alright, so we found some other kind of bug. The other bug is I'm not pressing anything and he's still moving. That's like been there. There's no wall. It's just whatever. Okay, let's see if it crashes. Well, it kind of did crash because it sent me back to the main menu. It didn't save the state. I think I need to like get the state. Save the state. When that happens, I have to just then copy everything. Which is unfortunate. It's like, look, what the hell just happened? It crashed. I'm pretty sure it did. Because it's a lot more comfortable to play like this. Like, I was like trying to like open this laying down, and like conclusion was obvious. And you see that the other button just disappeared on this phone. On the other phone, you had all the buttons. Oh wait, is the other button behind? Oh yeah, the other button is behind him. So the aspect ratio obviously here is trash. It's actually better on the other phone. It was horrible. It just seems horrible doing it like this. All these like little problems. Okay, let's make this pound thing disappear. This settings. I just need to like keep fixing little things and stop worrying about mega problems. This thing. Let's just open this triangle thing. They do have the other ones fixed. This is just going to be a vertex elements array, index array, and vertices array grind. That's all this is. It just needs to get rid of render and use sprite manager, which is just two different classes. They will practically do the same thing and have the same type of function. So in this tab, I have this version of the game opened. Okay, so great. Let's try to fix this triangle because I haven't had to. Really. Let's open a new instance of this. Let's have to fix this and this. One of them, oh no, why did it do that? It's being really jumpy today. Which is kind of good. It means the computer's like really cold. It's got a lot of like, it'll get sluggier. Okay. Yeah, so this got sprite manager. How come it's complaining about it? Scale was not declared in scope. Yeah, it was. Who cares? We don't need scale. Yeah, we do. It should have been declared. I don't remember this being an issue. Yeah, so it's like being set here. That's the default scale. Why it's so small? Because it's normalized. It's just by default normalized. It's not declared. How? Maybe it was never implemented within this version? Whatever. It had to be because it was copy-pasted out of the other version. There's no way. That's stupid. It's like there's gremlins inside the wall erasing code, but I doubt that they would even care about that. There's enough headaches just to mess up my font renderer. Like, you would have to find the time. So you look at this version, and yeah, there we go. We have scale. But it's like, it's kind of in the middle of the class. Like, what? Font renderer class. No. It's not in this file. Looking at the wrong file here. Yeah, it's in this class. Actually, it should be in here. There it is. What the hell is it talking about? We have to move this one to a different tab, instance, because it's from the other game. In this game, we have to fix Android UI gamepad and sound and everything. I believe we do have sound for Android. For PC, we also have a library somewhere. We could just like drop in. Quake damage, UI effects, loading text. Okay. We have to fix the menu not showing up. Get rid of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have to get rid of 5 things. whatever, just let that jump, who cares? It's probably something else. I couldn't text render a class. Oh, okay. This thing doesn't even exist in this. I thought it was supposed to be there. Okay, let's go and search it for this crap. Yes, this does not exist here. Oh no, we do need a text renderer class because text renderer class defines the font. Exposition was not declared. That was. Okay, Spike Manager 2 is another thing named indices main. It does, but it's maybe not named that. Yeah, this class got really ugly. It has a real timer function thing. And I read somewhere, and then I also rediscovered somewhere, like completely different fork offsets, that the non-chrono one is more high performance. It's better to use a single one, I believe. Like I had two opinions back then, and I didn't know which route to take. Okay, indices. It's called indices, not indices main. Such crap. Like, why is it called indices, and why is it not right next to the vertices? Who knows? They'll be fixing their render like many times, so I was supposed to like fix it. Okay. Let's just fix it really fast. Tired of like being Hammer MacGyver. Oh, that's an ugly way to do it. Okay. It doesn't seem like it's too surgical. Instead of this render shit, we have to do this. Same thing here. Oops. could have a function like that, like we did with cdRenderer. It's a little more nicer to do it this way. I think it's inline, so it's faster. But whatever. What the hell? Why is it changing some stupid ass uniform? Dumbass uniform. What is this uniform crap? There's quadraturning math. And then just it's some stupid ass uniform called transform inside the shader. No, that's garbage. This is such garbage. It's not gonna have this stupid function. No. Doesn't know anything about this. No, obviously we could just get rid of it. We won't have an update thing. Whatever that does. But this triangle instance is not complete. It's incomplete. It doesn't have anything to put it onto the graphics card and update it anyway. It's just like in the way. Alright, whatever. Just compile this again. Okay. That's annoying. Let's work on the other one for a second. Dumb. Alright, so here's how it works. It just draws 5 quads. And then based on those quads positions, it figures out what you're pressing. And last time I kind of like redid the layout. And that's how that looks like. It's very CSS-like code with the C twist. Alright. C is in the language, not as in like the ocean or something. Alright, so we have to move this button like here. And this one's specifically designed for a touchscreen. So like I can recycle this to the PC that has touchscreens. Like at work we have touchscreens or something. There's computers that have LCD touchscreens that are capacitance and resistance. So there's different types of touchscreens also. Most of the ones on iPhones won't work if you just... There's a pressure thing too. One of them's supposed to pressure. Yeah, without going into all the details, basically, the resistance ones you could use. It works with your nail better, and then the capacitance works with your finger better. And if you use a battery without alternating current, it'll work on your iPhone. If you use like the negative or the plus side, I don't remember. But if you just take an Arduino and just tell it to go up and down like this with voltage, it'll detect that. not like iPhone type screens, but like the older type screens, it'll detect more, but it's worse. If you drip some water on your iPhone, on your screen, it does weird stuff. So there's like a lot of this, like, oh, why does it work like this? And like, I think I know everything, but then I know nothing after one little thing happens. Yeah, so you have to like really keep track of the chemicals and physics involved in the screens. It's very interesting. It's not like laser mouse, you just move, you have a derivative of how fast you moved it, and that's it. Even that gets confusing. Alright, so we have button S. No, we have button D that we have to move. So D needs to move another 65, or offset 1. Yeah, like what if we move it times 2 offset 1? No, like where is button A? Button A is just offset 1, but this one is plus 65. So what if we times this times 2? We have to like just rerun this shit. And just annoying this jumping for no reason. Well, while it does that, we can try to fix the main menu not disappearing. So main menu UI, the main menu panel, does it have a hide function? Yeah, it has a hide function for settings button. So let's look at the map editor button. So this is using a lot of this like basic, very, very basic OpenGL calls in order to achieve this UI. Have like no animation, it's just very boring. And this is what you do, you just pass into attributes. This is the most minimalist system ever. You have your positions in here, and you have your UV coordinates in here, and then since there's a W coordinate, you kind of recycle that for the type, and then you could also plug in color G and B into the W component, and into the Z, because it's a 2D game, we could just put R in there. So we have a lot of more like attributes left in the system. This is just like potato friendly. It's not very shader branch friendly though. I found out that there is a downfall in all this. But it's okay. It's like, just don't do too much. And just keep like raw coding everything. Alright, so that was interesting. So when it rotated, it crashed. Or it like reset the state. And then this button thing moved like so far. And now it crashed. Or whatever it did. It like... the icon's like, it is an SVG of toilet paper. Nice thing about these buttons though, I have them to where anywhere I place them, they don't have a hover effect yet, but the other ones do, so I can always port that over or copy paste it. The other problem is for some reason this one's red and this one's like tan. I haven't figured that out yet, but maybe I will. Maybe I did that on purpose just to figure it out later. Sometimes do that, I'll give myself puzzles. So I get a headache and then I really get good at something. What did we do? Oh yeah, why did this move so much? Alright, so this does not hide the button. Yeah, there was like a wrong way I wrote this, and I just copy pasted everything and created this garbage mess. New button doesn't work either. Settings button doesn't work. Map editor button works. So in order to hide the button, this is not the right way. You can just tell. It needs this one for loop that says type to 0. Yeah. It says indices to 0. This is the right way to do it. And this is update VBO. So like it's really doing update VBO, which can be done by update VBO, so you can just set it to all zeros. But it's preferred to set the index to 0. That way the video card can figure it out for you. It's like this funny trick. It's like the code is identical from class to class. So there's render state and there's visible. They're kind of do the same thing, but whatever. I tried to avoid doing that, but it happened. Okay, that'll just get rid of this button. Now we have to worry about why is the position wrong. This is the other game. Position is wrong. So we're doing some of this math like stupid. This is like way too much. What is the button's width? .2. So it's 0.2. We don't know what the padding is, but it's like the offset. The width is equal to the offset. That's what makes this confusing. Because it's already 65. So it's already like 3 times. So we have to do something like three times plus 2 plus 5. And I still doubt this will look right. I can fix the stretching inside the shader, but that's going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of just going back and forth. crashes like that. I need to figure out why. I need to run it in debug mode. Alright, so put it like way over here. Did it change? That's annoying. We need to put the player in a different position. This is bad. A, it's not on the gamepad. B, I'm pissed. And C, it's in this orientation. Oh wait, not this orientation. This orientation. It's not on the gamepad. And it still crashes. I thought I fixed this by doing this. In the main function, I told it if you are handle input render if user data. I thought I told it something new. P source process. Yeah, it's supposed to handle the landscape change. And you see how the gamepad is like garbage. It needs to be lowered. Okay, so if I move those two buttons, I can put this down one here. Why is it 5? Okay, so how many do we want it to go back? 1, 2, okay. So let's change that value to 3, I guess. I don't know how we got this huge number. 3 should be sufficient. It's like it seems to be a lot more productive to change one thing at a time. It's tempted to change 2, then you start changing 3, and then you get rollover destruction. Alright, so that recompiled very fast. Alright, so this down button actually goes up, and this up button actually goes down, which is not right. So we need to switch those two. So the Y-X, the Y of W, and the Y of S, I call them this, but they're not really this. They're just gamepad buttons for up and down. But I call them what I usually think of them on the PC because it would just be a lot easier to think about. Okay, so this go here. This over here. I have to call this W new. S new. And after that, we're still gonna have to move down. We still have this like minus 25 offset on each of them. So we will have to make like Y button set offset. It's only used in one place. Okay, we'll have to move all down 25, so we have to like subtract that next. That's 2 changes, but it's 2 changes with one non-visual one. Whatever. We don't see the other part of the menu. We don't see the loader. Yeah, so I think I did fix up the loader last time. Disappearing. Yeah, the loader disappears, now the menu disappears. Good. Okay. Now I need to move the gamepad down, like as a whole, and use the same value. Like variable. Just go to all the Y's and just subtract this minus 25 out of it. And just hope for the best. It's actually, yeah, because of this top one, we need another variable. There's going to be more stuff over here. So you could technically play this. Let's see. Okay, so that did the wrong thing. It went up instead of down. Okay. So what we need to do, because since it's minus and you minus it, algebraic rules say that if you minus a minus, you add. Doesn't quite make sense in programming because the lexer is like not subtracting and a minus. In language, it's just like the other way around. I don't know. It's funny how that works. But it follows math's logic. All right, because we have that variable, we could adjust this. We could add that padding. Our padding will be 0.50. So we will change all to -20. 0.5 is sufficient. We need to add a jump button. And I have to avoid pressing any buttons like space. Cool. So our gamepad, yeah, pressing up goes down and pressing down goes up. Wait, I thought I switched those buttons positions. Okay. That's why I need to label them. Okay, let's switch the positions. What the fuck? S and W. Like, what the hell? I thought I did this. Like, how can it... Oh, I see what I did wrong. So smart. I forgot to make the right variable the thing. Okay. Genius move. Okay. It's a very elementary mistake to make, but whatever. I'm glad it's that. Did the colors switch too? That's the part I didn't notice. So adding this 5 actually gave us another problem. Now this one's sticking out. So let's add 2 5. We have to make this fit. Like there's no... Yeah, like it has to look like it's in this gamepad, and then we draw a line around it, or do the whole futuristic UI look thing later. Yeah, that looks better. This padding, though, can be... It could be more over here. Well, let's see. On this thing, because really I want it to be a circle thingy later. It can be both. I love how that crashes, because right when you do that, it's sending stuff to GPU, and because we're in this new mode, it fucks up, and it's drawing gamepad behind. Can we change the position of gamepad to be in front and just make it transparent? the gamepad panel is made in quad 1. Which is this function, create background panel. And the color will be, the Z position will be background panel Z. Sometimes it's red color. So what if we set this to 0.1? I think it's being drawn by color. So we may have to re-add it to the stack somehow and do a little trick. Because the platforms are being added later, where it crashes after we rotate this thing. That's going to crash. I knew it. How did I know? Because it rotated it. And then I thought it was going to do it that way, but it didn't do it that way. So when we're down here, it might be like a little thing. I hit spacebar, I fucked up. Okay, how do we crash this? Crash. I guess crashing it has its uses. Yeah, so the gamepad is on the bottom now. It still looks kind of stupid. So changing its position makes it look a little better, but it's still like in defiance of my using. Okay, where is the platforms being rendered? It's perspective view. Let's see. The platform renderer. What the hell is Z1 and Z0? Seems to be confusing. Yeah, so it has a graphics renderer just for the platforms, just a class for it. So it's like really intuitive to upload it, and then just have a graphics physics object, so it's intuitive to code that. So it's like this garble is not in your face in other places. And if you need to like update the graphics, you kind of want to do it here, but you could do whatever. But for starters, this is a good start. Alright, so it pushes back, Y position Z. Z is 0. Okay, Z is just being set to 0. What the fuck? It's just some static ass shit. Is Z1, Z2, like what the fuck? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Because there could be a Z. It can be a 3D cube. So let's just at least be sort of sane. These are coordinates, right? Yeah, anything with type in front of it is a coordinate. Yeah, so there's 6 coordinates. No, there's 4 coordinates, but 1 for test render and 1 for non-test render. That's really confusing, because I missed this one. That would have been a good bug. Okay. What if we set this to like 0.5? Do I really need this shit here? No. I need to get rid of this. Because it's really, like, this is the code right here. Alright. That did nothing. We should check before we move this why it crashes. Why does this crash? Let's just check. I know why, because we're rotating it, but it's because it's getting OpenGL error. I should just like look that up in catalog and just ask the AI and just see how to fix it. Motion filter function source. I think this is the thing. Source class mask. Yeah. Command IIT window. Oh, it's this. I added this. Handle rotation. On command window size rechanged. Handle rotation. And so when you do a handle rotation, what you're supposed to do is release the context. Because I knew like I was really sleepy when I did this. And then remake it. I think it'd be like nice to recompile the driver. I mean the shader, which is the driver. Yeah, and all it does is just print some shit to the console. It doesn't do shit. It just like, and that's why it crashes. We should set display to no, because it won't display then. It'll just die, but you won't see anything. Let's put a breakpoint right there. Alright, let's just make it die. Die. Come on, die. Please die. We need it to die because we need it to like figure out why it's dying. That's really annoying. Like, you don't want this to persist. Even though like it helps debugging sometimes. Like, oh, I just need to close this. So let me click this button. I do need like an ultra fast close button. It's a good debugging feature. All right, so it did. Okay, so it's inside of creating the font. It's still got all these old breakpoints. I'm gonna go eat something. Didn't get anything done today. Oh. Yeah, so it did a handle rotation. Oh, you see this like dark outline. Like, what is that? It means it didn't call clear bit color or whatever you call it. That clear color cornflower blue. So that clear color cornflower blue never got called. Because if it did, we'd see it. Like, that's the logic behind that. So that means the font obviously loaded because we could see stuff being drawn. I don't know. That's just wonderful. It's kind of good that the gamepad is under the platforms, because like the player knows it's there. He'd rather see the platform. I don't know. So now this happened. Like, what happened? Are we at a break point? Are we stuck? What is happening now? Are we here? We must be here. Like, how do we check the call stack? Like, what the hell? Yeah, we're here. We know we've hit this. And it told us that this happened. Like, it's like, oh, okay, this is what happened. This handle command thing got called by the operating system. Process command. This is like inside this blah, 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 prefab, blah, 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 blah file from Android main that processes this source process, just this inside this main loop of the Android main. And this was the Android entry point. Okay. Android app entry. This is like the glue. Glue is what calls the applications. So the applications have these pthread mutexes, locks on them. This like C code stuff. Right. So I'm just gonna call this. We're gonna know about it, and then we're gonna crash. Right. Yeah, it's something in the dark. It's reloading the characters again. It reloads everything because handle command went app command init window again. So it's redoing everything. But we already allocated that memory. Why is it redoing everything? We don't need to redo everything. Oh, I think I'm handling this wrong. And then it does handle rotation again. We're still alive. Can we get it to die? Okay, so it redoes that again. This isn't really good, but we need to save like a pointer. Like this was successful. Like it's different on Windows than this. Right, so if we hit play now, we crash. We can't even click it when it's upside down. It's not fair. Okay. looks like we put this. All I see is assert GL error. Cool. And this happens. But we didn't get handle rotation thing. So if it does do handle rotation, let's say display and surface to 0. If we get rid of the assert, it might just run through it, but who knows? Let's just ask. Damn it. Stupid shit expires. Alright, so if there's a power save, we have to reload shaders and textures. Stupid on surface changed. Fuck. So it's not just handle rotation, it's a Java thing. Okay, let's comment this out just to kind of keep it here. This is an Android only thing. But there's, here's the other piece of the puzzle. We could actually look at the piece of the puzzle here on this really old implementation of this game engine called the GFX game engine. Damn it, where is it? Like, why did it? Oh, it closed it. Oh, it closed it. Wow. Stupid microphone. Alright, yeah, so it's like NetBeans. It's in one of these folders. That's like one of the other ones. What is it? Oh, this is bullet. Whoops. Anyway, it's in here. I keep putting it in places and forgetting. I guess these are some tutorials about it. Instance, does it have the one where we rotate stuff? That's ascent. That's pretty cool. So yeah, so you have this context factory implements GLView context factory. It creates in Java this shit. On surface change, native library INIT. So it looks like it calls INIT under the hood. There's native library INIT, native. It's a native function, INIT. So it drills into the C++. That was the C++. So I guess we have to go to some GNI folder and then go to this native file. I wasn't going to use this as the example, but I think this will work. maybe I should just hack around with this later. So obviously this is the init call, and it calls setup graphics. So whenever surface changes, you gotta call setup graphics. So this is the old school way how you would do it without using AI to what I did. So it would create the shader program. So you do have to create shader program. You might as well. And then you have to set up the viewport. Do you have to load the ASM file from memory? Yes. So you could reload your models from shit you already had allocated. So this creates a sphere of radius 10 at position 0. Load a model into the OpenAL importer. I'm just reading this code because this code is pretty simple. Even though I haven't made my own model importer, but I'm pretty sure I would have an easier time with ASIMP than not UFBX, GLTF, but GLTF is more tiny GLTF is a little more advanced because it's just minimal, so you have to do all the hard work yourself. But you think it's easier because it's smaller. Yeah. It has another loader. It has an MDL loader in the other one. It's always nice to be able to have all these formats, but like you have to adjust your shaders and everything for every format, and then somehow have it all working all at once, and then have some sort of like OpenVAT library for reflect shaders and textures. I don't know how that would work together, but it would be really cool. Okay. So what we have to do this, just add a comment here. So it does this. Before it does viewport, it creates it. How does it do it? Fuck. Lost it. Setup graphics, create the program. Matrix goes before it calls viewport, but where does it fucking call? Look how does it in old entry? Let's put that there. So I have to just look at more of these. Set up graphics. What I wanted to see, where does it call this fucking thing called EGL make current or EGL window create surface? This function might not even exist. Like, let's try to compile this. Sometimes it just makes shit up. Yeah, like it added a native window thing. And then it passes this window. What the hell is it doing with this window thing? Config, new window. Like, what the fuck is this thing? How is it creating this surface like this? I don't get it. Yeah, it's... Sometimes it makes shit up. That's why we have to look at this code. Like, where would it call this EGL Windows surface? Like, it doesn't even call it here. Yeah, this doesn't exist. Is it .c? No. That's stupid. Yeah, it only calls it in this one area. It sets up the shader and just does this. This one uses some sort of frame buffer for shadow map. This one, play shadow map. GL check, app renderer. So here they're doing this GL check everywhere. It's always a nice template when everything has GL check in front of it. High Z culling or rasterize occluders. Fucking super graphic-y advanced bullshit or whatever. Okay, that one's doing what? Occlusion culling. Procedural geometries. This is what we're in. I'm just looking at where it's being on surface changed. Like when the surface changes, like what else do you call? Do you need to call these 3 other functions? But this is for so set up graphics to create the shader. Like OpenGL and OpenGL 3, 2 and 3 shouldn't have this. Like this query surface, this makes sense. Why is it being called twice? I think that's an error. Oh, because there's 2 things you want to get, okay. Like this create surface thing, it makes sense in Raspberry Pi. Okay, so current exists. Let's just tell it that. I just don't want to get this stupid ass a native window thing. I just told them it doesn't exist. Bro, Gary. Alright, let's do this. Like, where does it get called in the project? Except for this stupid place. Oh no, it does get called in renderer. Oh, app window. Oh, INAT renderer old. Like, why did we open this? No, we don't need to touch that. No, not this. Because the thing is, we have the object. Yeah, this is how we're supposed to call it. The format, get attribute config, and fucking just native visual ID format, create Windows Surface, context attribute, create a 3D context, current made auto, assert made, context. We have to set all this shit. Like we have to. And then in the other case, glfw, I mean, yeah, those are for Windows. Okay, our config, get attribute, found depth, attribute config, gls, initialize. Display is probably what you want in Android. EGL attributes. I don't know if we have to call this GLI initialize, choose config. Okay, let's forget about the config for a second. We might need it though, because format. Alright, when we call init render, it does it for us. Shit. But then it init input state, I put more garbage in here that we don't need. The asset manager reloads the assets. The shader is being compiled. That's actually a good thing. The text renderer is being reinitialized. The gamer text buffer gets initialized too. Oh, that's not good. I was afraid that this part was going to happen too. So yeah, we can't just recycle this function. We can't just call it. We have to, but it's funny how on OpenGL ES2 they load the shader. Yeah, because you could load the shader but not compile it. Like you could open the file and read it into memory, but not send it to the GPU. But they send it to the GPU even before this. So this is an interesting thing that I have to go back to, I guess. Old init renderer code here and generated slot continues and don't need new window, just get from app window. Yeah, so that's the answer. Okay, I think that's the answer. And the other thing is to fix